So leveling up the Battle Pass in Vanguard and Warzone can be a really long and boring journey, but in this video I'm going to show you how to make it as quick and as easy as possible for the third season of Vanguard and Warzone. I'm also going to be doing a giveaway for when I hit 30,000 subscribers, which will be over 2,000 COD points to use towards tiered, buying the Season 3 Battle Pass and in-store items, and the rules for that are in the description, so feel free to enter that if you want. Now this video provides every single way to level up tiers faster in Season 3 of Vanguard and Warzone, so be sure to stay tuned until the end of the video as it's packed full of tips. But if you do want to jump to a specific part of it, there will be timestamps in the description, so feel free to use those chapters if you want. So the main ways to tier up faster include the time played, XP earned, double Battle Pass XP tokens or weekends, earning COD points and using tier skips. Now I'm sure most of you guys know, but for anyone that doesn't, the Vanguard Warzone integration means that Battle Pass content is linked between Warzone and Vanguard only, so you can only use and unlock the stuff in both of those games, but you can still level up tiers if you play Modern Warfare or Cold War as well, but you have to actually play Warzone or Vanguard to use those Battle Pass items. So first we're going to quickly talk about all the boosts to speed up Battle Pass progression, and then we'll talk about the best ways to tier up fast in Vanguard and Warzone. So the main boosts are tier skips, which you get every 50 levels in Season 3, so level 50 gives you one, level 100 gives you a second one, and so on. But there's other ways to get tier skips too, like buying certain bundles, or alternatively there are occasionally free gift bundles that they've done recently for Vanguard and previously in other games too that give tier skips, so look out for those. And occasionally there might be some in the For You section of the store in Vanguard and Warzone as well. You also want to keep an eye out for special events like double tier progression that comes at least twice per season. And recently they also give away 2 1-hour Battle Pass XP tokens, I think because there were some issues with leveling up tiers or something, so they've given that out, so everyone should be able to claim those. That will give you 2 hours of boosted double Battle Pass XP, so that should be really useful. Just make a note that normal double XP weekends and tokens don't count. You can also earn COD points and you can use those to buy the tiers if you need, but kind of a waste. Alternatively, if you enter my giveaway and win the competition, you could use those COD points to do it for free as well. So we're going to start off with Vanguard, we'll talk about multiplayer and zombies, and then we'll move on to Warzone as well. And finally we'll talk about which mode is best at the end. So for all games, including multiplayer, the most important factor is the time played. So longer matches means it's more efficient because you're spending more time in the game, actually playing less time in the lobby. So you want longer matches, so modes like domination, hardpoint, patrol, those kind of champion hill, those kind of modes. The caveat to this is that obviously you need to be doing well in those matches, so you need to be getting a lot of XP, as that's another important factor. So you need to be balancing that by playing long games with high XP earn rates. So in terms of earning XP, specifically you want modes like Shipment or Das House 24/7 or any other mosh pit playlist like that with new DLC maps, as they're normally quite good and fast paced. But if there's no good ones, just play longer games with objectives and high XP, so ones again like Domination, Patrol, those kind of ones. Ideally hardcore modes if possible, because you normally get more kills, and you also want to be equipping the decoy grenade and using it every time you spawn in, as if an enemy nearby to it dies, you get XP and an assist. They can give you several thousand XP easily just by throwing them. You can either equip 1 or 2, and if you equip 2 obviously it's a lot easier, so just equip that and it should easily give you another little boost that a lot of people don't think of. So my tips for doing well generally for multiplayer: obviously you want a good class, and if you want to know some good classes then feel free to check out guides for that. You also need to level up weapons to get the right attachments to get a good class, so again guides for that if you need to level up your weapons fast. I've done a new one for Season 3, and then also make sure you're using the kill streaks, equipment and field upgrades as much as possible to get more kills, get more score, that kind of thing. You want to go for the objective as much as possible, that's a really important point. So if it's domination, keep going for the flag. If it's kill confirmed, keep picking up the tags, that's really important. Obviously you want to get as many kills as possible as you can, and also don't forget to use the surplus attachment for a 20% XP bonus. There's a few other bonuses as well, like if you play with the clan you get a 10% bonus, that kind of thing, so to make sure you're using all those. And also don't forget to do the challenges as well. So for multiplayer you've got the career challenges, so if you go to the barracks tab, progression, Season 3 and the seasonal prestige challenges, there'll be 20 of those. Each one will give you a set amount of XP, and sometimes they'll have several tiers to it, and then you get a bonus amount for completing all 20 prestige challenges in Season 3, so make sure you're completing those. We've also got the camo challenges, so the atomic camos for multiplayer. If you want help with that, there's a playlist. I've made a playlist with all those guides, so feel free to check it out. There's a card on screen and a link in the description for all the camo guides and gold gun guides. Sledgehammer Games have actually made atomic camos a lot easier recently. They've cut some of the challenge requirements, so like for example headshots, I think they've halved it from like 100 to 50. It's actually made a lot easier, so make sure you complete them. It's a lot easier now, there's no excuse. And there's also reticle challenges as well for like getting a certain amount of kills while aimed down sight with a particular optic or weapon or whatever, so feel free to do all of those, and the more you do the more XP you get, which obviously helps you to tier up your battle pass faster as well. And what you want to try and do is overlap these challenges to get more XP more quickly. So if there's a challenge that involves an assault rifle in your career challenges, and there's also one for the seasonal challenges, then obviously try and overlap those to get assault rifle kills or whatever it might be, just to make it a bit easier, so getting more done in a small amount of time. So that's it for multiplayer. What about zombies? The zombies, obviously we've got the Durang Fang and the Terra Maledicta maps. I'm sure not a ton of people are playing zombies right now. I know in Season 4 there's going to be an actual round-based map, so that will probably be quite good for Battle Pass XP, but right now the only two methods we've got are playing Durang Fang or Terra Maledicta. For both of these it's fairly similar strategy, so I'll just go through that now. You obviously want to spawn in and keep completing objectives, so Blitz, Transmit and Harvest are generally the best ones, whereas other ones like Purge and Sacrifice are much worse, as they're less efficient, they take longer and they don't give you as much XP. So complete those as fast as you can, keep completing those objectives, just don't worry about it too much. Obviously you can try and get some kills along the way in those objectives, but the main goal is just to complete it as fast as possible, because most of the XP comes from just completing it. So it doesn't matter if you do it in 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, as long as you do it as quickly as possible, that's what makes it faster. You want to kill all the spawn area zombies between objectives as well, so what I like to do is normally kill a few and then sort of try and activate the portal to start up the objective, and while you're waiting for that portal to load, there's nothing you can do, you can't upgrade anything, and there's nothing you can interact with other than just killing zombies. So if there's any zombies around, kill those while you're waiting to teleport. That can be quite useful, and it just is another way to earn a little bit more XP. So you want to survive as long as possible obviously, so make sure you pack a punch your weapon, buy perks, unlock altar covenants after each objective, so like deal more damage, that kind of thing. Use artifacts to survive as long as possible, and also make sure you use your equipment to kill boss zombies and take cover if they're firing at you. You want to get as many critical hit kills like headshots and medals, so like rapidly killing 5 zombies in a row, that kind of thing, and also boss zombie kills like the Sturmkriegers and also the Tricksters and the Boomschreiers as well. So try and kill all of those, they give more XP. I think the other main thing is you want to do the avoid objective. So for Durang Fang it's like the avoid sort of Shinonuma objective. You basically go into the office upstairs, activate that portal, and that will basically give you unlimited rounds. You can keep just killing zombies wave after wave in that tiny little Shinonuma area until you get to about maybe round 15 or 20. Now for Terra Maledicta there's a similar thing. You have to actually start that little Easter egg as if you're going to unlock the Decimator shield. Once you go through the portal, it will bring you to that sort of dark ether place, and you can just stay there for as long as you want. You keep going through the rounds, and that's kind of the void equivalent. So you can keep doing that as much as you want to get as many kills and whatever you need to do, and just run through those as quickly as you can. And when you get to about round 15 or 20, like I say, you want to then return to the spawn area, whatever map you're on, kill all the remaining zombies, and then probably exfil, which will trigger like a final wave of zombies to attack you, and then sort of when the time's nearly done, just run to the portal. So that's what you actually want to do for zombie strategy. What other things can you do in zombies? Well, you can do the challenges, so you've got the career challenges, just complete those, they're fairly simple things. You've also got the seasonal prestige challenges for zombies as well. If you go to the barracks tab, progression, season 3 prestige challenges, again you get 20 challenges, each one gives you XP, and sometimes there'll be several tiers, and then completing all of them will give you a bonus amount of XP as well. So don't forget to try and play zombies and multiplayer, that way you're completing the challenges for both. And the other thing is obviously there's different camo challenges from multiplayer, which are the dark ether camos, so you want to try and work towards the challenges and the camos for both zombies and multiplayer, and that way you're kind of doing a mix of both and you're getting more XP. There's also separate reticle challenges as well which you can work towards, and again try to overlap all those challenges in zombies to make it a little bit easier. So we talked about Vanguard multiplayer, now let's talk about Warzone. So for Warzone the most important thing is obviously the time played, so you want longer matches to make it more efficient again. So longer matches are better, but obviously you still need to be doing well and getting lots of XP. So again you want a good class. If you need decent loadouts for season 3, check out my guide for that, I made some recently. The other thing you want to be doing is, depending on what mode you're playing, obviously I'm kind of giving it more towards sort of BR and plunder, but if there's other modes, obviously do whatever the objective is for that, and we'll talk about those other limited time modes a little bit later on. But for the sort of battle royale and plunder, and obviously technically rebirth as well, you want to be doing as much looting as possible, so opening crates, which gets you more money to help you buy more equipment, self revives, UAV, that kind of thing, but also gives you more XP overall. You want to be opening more loot boxes as well, and you can also run over dead enemies, finding piles of cash on the floor as loot sort of on top of roofs or in unsearched rooms, that kind of thing. And if there's any objectives like opening any bunkers or anything, that can help as well in terms of finding cash and getting XP, that kind of thing. You want to get as many kills as you can obviously, so use a decent class, use your mini-map, heartbeat sensor, compass, sounds that enemies make to find where more enemies are and hunt them down. And you want to be doing lots of contracts, so the good ones at the moment are sort of the top secret, the big game bounties. There are other ones like most wanted and bounties and supply runs, so on. So yeah, you want to do as many contracts as you can, whatever ones are easiest for you and around. Just try to go between them as fast as possible with like helicopters, ATVs, fast vehicles like that. Again, I've made a guide on contracts if you need, there'll be a card on screen or a link in the description. You also want to be surviving longer if it's battle royale, so you know, be careful, safe, don't run and gun, otherwise dying soon is a poor amount of tier progression. Surviving longer obviously places you higher in the matches, which is more XP, more time played, and a faster progression for your tiers. The placement bonus is quite important as well for both BR mode and for plunder. So for BR it's relative to how long you survived and other things like looting and contracts as well. For plunder it's just sort of cash, looting, contracts, all that stuff, and the person that earns the most cash does better in the game, so it has a higher placement bonus. Don't forget also that the pre-game lobby kills actually count towards the XP and weapon XP, and sometimes if you've got other boosts active, it will actually really help with just a few kills in the pre-game lobby, so definitely don't snooze on those. Don't forget to use the surplus attachment on Vanguard weapons for a 20% XP boost, and also the pointsman perk if you're playing Battle Royale or Rebirth in Warzone to boost the amount of XP earned from each contract. Also for Warzone, if you're a Vanguard player, you get a 10% Battle Pass XP boost as well, and there'll be other boosts as well like Clan XP boosts and so on. In terms of the best game modes at the moment, the best one will probably be Plunder. There'll be other limited time modes as well which are good, and we'll talk about those in just a minute, but if there's nothing else interesting around, then Plunder's probably your best bet. So Plunder is a great game mode overall for easy XP and an easy game, and it's a really fast way of leveling up tiers. Less than a 15-minute Plunder game can give you more than a whole tier of progress if you place well and play effectively, which is up to 5 tiers an hour, sometimes up to double that if you're using the double battle pass XP token, so it's really good. So strategy, you kind of want to spawn in, quickly find an area of the map with few players but lots of buildings and places to search for loot crates, because your ultimate goal is obviously, if you're playing Plunder, to get first place by earning as much money as possible. So run around opening as many crates as you can by following the faint humming noise, which indicates how close or far away you are from it, and adjust the sound settings if you need to. Keep moving to kind of stay ahead and open as many crates as you can. That's kind of the main goal. If you find a cash deposit balloon, use it so that you don't lose the money if you die, and also if there's any sort of cash deposit sites nearby, then obviously deposit the cash there as well. Keep an eye out for cash piles on the ground in unsearched areas like rooftops, unvisited rooms as well, as this can actually be a decent amount of cash on top of the cash you get from the crates. Look for money near dead players and kill as many enemies as possible that you come across to get more cash and more XP. Do a few contracts if you can along the way while opening crates, so like supply run or like scavenger could be quite good actually. It requires you to open crates and shows you where they are, and obviously opening the crates will give you money, so that's actually really useful. And supply run contracts, like I say, are quick and easy. There's also recon and top secret and big game bounty. Those are all really good ones as well, so make use of those if you can. Sometimes if you're playing with teammates it's quite good as well, because you can kind of do the contracts while they're getting cash or vice versa, especially if you're talking to them. If you're like playing with mates and they know what you're doing, then obviously you can do one thing, they can focus on another thing, and then together it actually gives you a really big bonus and placement bonus overall. For Plunder, don't forget as well that near the end of the match, when you go into overtime, it gives you a 25% bonus on all the kind of cash, XP and so on that you get. So don't forget to get kills and do contracts in the last few minutes as well, as that gives another big bonus. And also if you think there's not really much time to do a contract but you see a bounty nearby or a big game bounty, because sometimes if you pick that up, someone can just be killed by someone else, i.e. they become poached, and you still get a bit of XP for it, literally for doing nothing. And similarly, if someone's got a contract on you and you need to survive, obviously if you survive then you technically complete a contract and you get XP for it as well. So keep doing as much as you can to get the most money, kills, looting, contracts complete as you can, that kind of thing. Work with your teammates, like I say, if they're helpful, because teamwork is quite important. I know that sounds quite cringy, but it's true. And if you get first place, you get a lot of XP, sometimes in the region of up to sort of 40-50,000 XP, a lot of bonuses, and therefore more XP and more battle pass progression overall. The other main mode which will be around is Rebirth. It's great as it's smaller matches and respawns make doing well easier. You also not waste your time if you die early on, although normally you've got resurgence as well, which is helpful. So for this, what you want to do is sort of spawn in, grab a decent floor gun and get any kill streaks or anything like that, any equipment you need to survive. Try and open a few loot crates to earn some money. So start doing contracts by picking up a helicopter and do a supply run or something like that, big game bounty, whatever you want to do. Do this several times to get some money to buy a loadout, and you can share cash with your teammates as well. Call in your loadout and pick the class you want. Make sure you have some good classes set up, and like I say several times, I've got some good loadouts if you want those. Keep doing contracts. The more you do, the bigger the bonus, and therefore the more XP. And meanwhile, you want to get as many kills as you can without dying. You want to try and stay and work with your teammates, as this improves the chance of survival. You want to keep looting, killing, doing contracts, and etc., and prepare for the final circle by finding or buying a gas mask, getting plenty of ammo, a good class, equipment, self-revive, and etc., to heal yourself towards the final circle with your teammates. Hopefully you get a victory. Just remember that it's often better to hold down an area and survive rather than rushing into a gunfight and dying, otherwise you'll lose your equipment and your loadout money, that kind of thing, and you're less likely to survive. So be patient and try to resist the temptation to always rush in and ditch your teammates. You want your loot, contract, combat placement and match bonuses to be as large as possible while surviving as long as you can to get more XP and more time played. Other good limited time modes if around are things like Payload, Caldera Clash. They're really good, so if they're around, definitely go for those. If not, do Plunder or Rebirth or whatever it is. Like recently they had some really good Rebirth modes like Rebirth, Blood Money, Rebirth, Payload, that kind of thing, and they were great for Battle Pass XP, so definitely make use of those. You obviously also want to be doing challenges as well, so the daily challenges are great. Do whatever the daily challenge needs to do. You've got mastery challenges, they're quite long, so kind of getting wins, that kind of thing. Also the seasonal progression challenges under the challenge tab. Each challenge gives XP, and then like I say again, if you get all 20 done, you get a bonus amount of XP, so try and complete all of those. They've also got camo challenges. We've got the Dark Ether and DM Ultra from Cold War. You've got the Atomic camo from Vanguard, and at some point in the future you also have the Dark Ether Zombies camos from Vanguard as well to do, and you've also got the Damascus camo from Modern Warfare. So there's a lot of mastery camos to go for. The more you try and do, the more XP you get, so try and complete those in whatever game you're doing or playing. And then then also there's reticle challenges as well. So try and overlap all of those and do them as fast as possible. So that's kind of the strategy for Warzone and the best tips. What about the best game modes in Warzone overall? Well, this depends on how well you do in each mode. So the longer matches are obviously better than shorter ones if you can get a decent amount of XP, but I think generally the best modes in my opinion is Plunder is best, as you get infinite respawns, cash is the main objective so it's easy to find, and it's longer matches so it's more time played, but you can still get lots of kills, custom loadout available, that kind of thing, overtime bonus as well. Rebirth can be good, but I think it's probably better than Warzone BR, as you don't risk wasting a lot of time and then die a fair way through without good progress, but the matches are shorter, which means it's slightly less efficient than if you were a really good Warzone BR player. So probably Plunder's best, I would say, unless there's any other good limited time modes, but otherwise if you prefer to play Rebirth, that's fine too, as long as you're doing well, and otherwise if you're really good at Warzone BR you can do that as well, but obviously it's a lot more tricky and stressful and so on, so I'd say Plunder's probably best for most people. But now in terms of which game mode's best overall, like is it Warzone, is it Vanguard, and is it Vanguard multiplayer or zombies? Again, like I say, longer matches are better than the shorter ones and you want as much XP as possible. So generally the best modes in my opinion are Vanguard multiplayer, as if you're playing something like Shipment, Das House, other long modes. Zombies to higher rounds can be good too, but I think it's more casual as well. Like it's, if you can put in more time, zombies is good as long as you stay in the match, but after a while there comes a point where zombies get too hard to kill and it's actually easier to start a new game or play something else. So if you're good at zombies, definitely that can be just as good if not better than multiplayer, but then in multiplayer obviously you've got to kind of sweat and deal with the tricky players as well. So I'd say it's up to you whatever you prefer playing. Vanguard multiplayer or zombies, either is good depending on what you're best at, but I would say that Warzone can be really good for leveling up the battle pass, especially if you've got your method down, you're really good at playing Plunder or another good mode like that. If there's any good limited time mode, Warzone's probably best. If not, if you're good at Plunder and you can do it like I say and you're getting over a tier in less than a 15-minute game, then that's the mode for you. Otherwise you might be worth playing Vanguard multiplayer or zombies. And don't forget as well, in Warzone you get that 10% battle XP bonus for if you're a Vanguard player, so that also helps as well to make it even faster. So it depends, all the factors, whether you own Vanguard or not, that kind of thing. If you're using all those boosts, Warzone can be definitely as good if not better. Otherwise it's probably worth playing Vanguard multiplayer or zombies. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found this video useful on how to level up your tiers faster in Warzone and Vanguard Season 3. Feel free to check out all of my other guides, including how to level up weapons fast, the best loadouts at the moment, how to unlock the new weapons, and anything else you could need. If you found the video useful, be sure to leave a like so that other people can find it too, and feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on by clicking the bell icon to stay up to date with all my latest Warzone and Vanguard videos. Thank you so much for watching, hope you found it useful, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.